Another bombshell report from The Atlantic about Donald Trump's embattled FBI director. Today, the magazine published this photo of, quote, Kash Patel Bourbon. The bottle, which The Atlantic purchased on eBay, also features a rendering of an FBI shield. The report says, quote, Patel has given out bottles of his personalized whiskey to FBI staff, as well as civilians he encounters in his duty. That is according to 8 people, including current and former FBI and Department of Justice employees, and others who are familiar with the matter. In a statement to the magazine, an FBI spokesperson denies Patel hands out whiskey bottles with his name on it.
Kash Patel's reported bourbon gifts are already causing controversy across Washington. Critics say an FBI director should avoid anything that looks personal or promotional while leading a federal agency. Sarah Fitzpatrick's report is now pushing the story into national headlines. Do viewers think this hurts the FBI's professional image?
Called this a form of gift-giving that falls in line with the Bureau's, quote, ethics rules. The whiskey scoop comes from Atlantic journalist Sarah Fitzpatrick. It is a follow-up to her reporting from last month, diving into Patel's controversial tenure as FBI director. The report comes on the same day. 2 sources tell MS Now the FBI launched a criminal leak investigation into Fitzpatrick's reporting on Patel. Publicly, an FBI spokesperson denied such an investigation. Also today, the FBI raided the office of Virginia State Senator Louise Lucas this morning. She recently led Virginia's redistricting effort to counter Trump's push to rig the midterms.
Now the pressure gets even bigger. Reports about a possible FBI leak investigation connected to Sarah Fitzpatrick are raising concerns about press freedom and government transparency. At the same time, the FBI raid involving Louise Lucas is adding more political tension. Supporters call it law enforcement, while critics call it intimidation.
Details about that raid remain murky. We do know an investigation started under the Biden Justice Department, but over the course of the last 3 years, no charges have been filed. And must now also learn Trump lackey Lindsay Halligan had been pushing to bring charges in the case. Before a judge removed Halligan as an interim U.S. attorney, ruling her appointment was unlawful.
So all of the stories are connected here. I will note that Kash Patel, on April 10th, Sarah Fitzpatrick, she wrote a story on April 17th that starts with, on April 10th, Kash Patel could not log into his FBI account, essentially.
The report claiming Kash Patel thought a login issue meant removal from office instantly sparked chaos online. According to the discussion, people inside government circles reportedly started questioning who was actually leading the FBI. Michael Steele and Simone Sanders Townsend are warning viewers that public trust in major institutions could suffer badly.
He couldn't get into the system, and instead of thinking he just had the wrong password, he thought he was fired and started calling his allies, and people in the FBI then started calling the White House and Congress asking, who is the FBI director, if not Kash Patel? So I don't know if this is boding well for his prospects, but Michael, Alicia, they have been attacking our democracy from the beginning. They are actively trying to dismantle it. By they, I mean the White House, current Republican Party apparatus, and they are doing it in various ways. They're attacking the journalists and journalism. They're attacking their quote-unquote opponents, other duly elected Democratic leaders. They are trafficking and sowing misinformation and disinformation. They don't want to answer any questions.
Simone Sanders Townsend argues this situation is becoming bigger than one investigation. The panel claims attacks against journalists and political opponents are now becoming part of a wider political strategy. Alicia Menendez also points toward Project 2025 during the debate. Viewers are now asking whether this is politics, as usual, or something more serious.
We're going to slippery slide, dive into some crazy stuff.
I hear you, Simone, but we got burnt. So we're good. That's the level that we're at, folks. I mean, Simone has laid out the indictment against not only this FBI director and the agency itself, but this administration. And yet it boils down to actions like this, where you just get your own little personal bottle of bourbon. I mean, Alicia, what does that say about where we are here?
Because we are deep into dysfunction.
Alicia Menendez says America is now watching deep dysfunction unfold in real time. Critics believe the controversy surrounding Kash Patel reflects larger problems inside government leadership. Meanwhile, supporters argue the media is exaggerating every headline connected to Donald Trump's administration. The divide between both sides keeps getting wider every day.
But that also we've known that this was all coming, right? They've actually told us that their plan was to go after all of the institutions that uphold our democracy. There was an actual playbook, and now we are watching them run the play. So, Simone, to your point, devastating, upsetting, but not surprised.
I went back, Simone, and I was trying to find in Project 2025 the section that said we need to get a personal bottle.
Now that I do believe was improvised, which, you know, like kudos, I guess, to Kash Patel for trying to put his own spin on it. But again, I think it does always goes back to Project 2025. To Alicia's point, they telegraphed to us.
Yeah.
The discussion now shifts towards Sarah Fitzpatrick and The Atlantic. Legal experts on the panel warn that journalists could face subpoenas or pressure to reveal confidential sources if investigations continue. That possibility is creating major concerns about First Amendment protections and the future of investigative journalism in the United States.
We had, again, Kevin Roberts, he's not about Trump. This is about imbuing Trumpism.
Of journalists in leak investigations. There might be investigations of the leaker, not the journalist. In fact, the Biden administration tried to, in part, codify this with internal regulations. Those got walked back by this administration. And so, you know, what I'm concerned about here is really twofold. One is that potentially the administration could call Sarah Fitzpatrick to testify, which is subpoena for that, and then she would have to either give up her sources or potentially face, you know, some sort of judicial consequence. The other is that the administration starts seeking digital data from her or other people at The Atlantic, you know.
Panel members argue that trust in the FBI and Department of Justice is becoming the real issue behind this controversy. Critics believe politics is influencing investigations and media coverage, while supporters insist these claims are politically motivated attacks. Either way, this story is growing rapidly and becoming a major national debate.
A search warrant for their email accounts, bank accounts, and so forth, as part of this investigation. I will just say one thing. You know, this administration has absolutely collapsed the credibility of the Department of Justice, the FBI in general. I think it's going to be really incumbent on magistrate judges in investigations like these to try to look past just the initial things that the department is saying in seeking these search warrants to try to understand, is this for a proper or improper purpose?
This explosive debate leaves Americans divided over law enforcement, media freedom, and political power inside Washington. Kash Patel, Sarah Fitzpatrick, and the FBI are now at the center of a controversy that continues getting bigger by the day. If you found this breakdown shocking, hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more powerful political commentary videos.